Yo, want to talk to you real fast about Anchor, all right? Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. And now Anchor can match you with great sponsors too, so you can get paid to podcast. That's pretty dope, right? All you have to do is go to anchor.fm/start. Once again, that is anchor.fm/start. You'll get acclimated. Look, man, on here, there's podcasts for literally everything. Food, movies, entertainment, health, fitness, you name it, they got it. So why don't you come on in, grab a seat, and start podcasting soon. Yo, know what it is. Respect the worst. If you don't respect the best, let cheer. Top tier podcast. First and foremost, Happy New Year's, everybody. I stayed in the crib, man. Not going outside. Man, I heard shit that was sounding like AK-47s and like just state-of-the-art machine guns. Man, niggas was going overboard in my neck of the woods. But yo, it's 2019 now, and there's a couple of battlers who need to reappear and be a little bit more active, or just get looks that I felt either are getting overlooked, excuse me, or getting just like the short end of the stick. Shout out to Piper Boy. I recently seen him on Twitter. He seemed like he was in disgust at Young Cannon taking a battle in what appears to be like like no shot at whoever league this is, but it looked like it was just a really small, like, little building, but you all got to start from somewhere. I mean, look at me, like I'm at home recording this shit, and so I'm not one to really cast judgment. I don't really do that, but it's just for all the battling and all the longevity that Young Cannon has had. You would think he would be getting better battles and better locations, better venues. So the bag might have been great. Who knows? I don't be knowing what niggas is worth or whatnot, but it just didn't look good. Like, aesthetically, when you see the battle, you're like, where's this at? What's the reason this battle is taking place for? And I'm, apologize, I don't remember the guy's name. Like I said, I just seen it on Twitter. Piper Boy tweeted it out. And so like a guy like him, I feel like his value should be at a certain point where he doesn't have to take those battles. He should be on the top leagues, battle in and battle out. He's fire, and whatever it is that's not allowing him to be on these cards, I don't know. Only he can come out and talk about that. Another battler I would like to see more is Ilmac. I think Ilmac is dope. I think when we talk about writers and pins, his name don't come up a lot, maybe because that's due to him not being as active as others. But like, I mean, you look at some of his recent performances. I mean, you look at his battle against JC. JC is arguably top 3, 4, top 5 pin games in the business right now. And he stood his own. Like, he stood on his own. And a lot of, I won't say a lot, but that battle was split. I've heard a lot of people who said Ilmac got JC out of there in that battle. He eliminated JC from trying to control the crowd, even when he's not rapping. JC loves to do that. Yo, hey, quiet down. Like, that's a really slick tactic that JC does too. And I'm going to get into that on another episode about tactics, gamesmanship, things you do to throw your opponent off, and tactics between league owners too. Because league owners play that game too with each other, trying to like outdo each other, or like, throw a little shade over something that the other league owner did that we all feel is major, but they try to like downplay it to some degree. So yeah, we'll talk about gamesmanship at another time. But yeah, Ilmac is one. Definitely believe Chess. Chess has quietly gotten his shit. I wouldn't say all the way together because there's still slips and blips, and he's still everywhere with it sometimes. But man, his the way he structured his bars is so unique, and he does it with so much energy and ferocity and just ferociousness. Like he has to be on the card. Similar to like a band setting, like a Smack Volume would be nice. I actually think Chess is one of those guys who can translate in through other leagues. I would love to see Chess on an RBE card too. I think he would be fire on RBE, Obviously his battle with Shotgun Suge, his recent battle with NJT, really dope battles. I would like to see him against a guy that's going to push his pen even more. I could see him possibly against like him versus Danny Myers, Smack Volume. I wouldn't mind that at all. I'm actually going to come out with a list, and you can follow us on Twitter at Podtier, PODTIER, and I'm going to tweet out the list of a list I comprise of what I would like to see, battles I would like to see on the next Smack Volume. I think that'll be something people can look forward to. Real quick, as far as King of the Dot goes in 2019, I love their brand. King of the Dot brand is strong. I feel like Organic does really great business. You never hear about him being shady. He not only just promotes them as battle rappers, he promotes them as full-fledged artists, which the artists appreciate. I remember Verb giving him kudos and saluting him on that. I believe Mav before have said like the way they treat you when you go over there is it goes without saying. It's like, it's top level, world class shit. But this past year, 2018, it didn't go the way, I'm pretty sure. I think nobody is harder on themselves than the people who are in this shit. So I don't think they need me to tell them that it wasn't their best year. I think they're looking at things, and you always pay attention to people that are fairly quiet. I think Organic and the guys over there is like a quiet storm. Like they sitting back, they're watching the moves URL and RB are making, and they're like, okay, we're gonna change some things up. I expect big things from that league, man. I think what really just done them in was just matchup and pairings. It was a couple of odd pairings that didn't make sense, a couple of rematches that didn't make sense. I don't think we needed a Pat Stay versus Arsenal rematch on that card. The Gully versus Organic card was a little underwhelming, and and in their last card to celebrate their longevity in the game was a bit underwhelming for that magnitude of a card. I do agree with some who say if the card wasn't named what it was named, and if the card was just more like their third or fourth most important card of the year, maybe would have thought of it in different light. But it's just like randoms, like Gems versus Sharon. Although it was better than expected, and I do have Gems actually winning that battle 2-1. But yeah, I just think matchup wise, they gotta do some things as far as pairings go, and they gotta really, really brush up on that. But I expect them to bounce back onto more battlers who I would like to see just do their thing and come up the ranks. Cortez. I think Cortez, it's about time for him to get more looks at top names. For whatever reason, he still hasn't broken through as far as getting the guys that he wants, which is kind of like what I said about in the last episode. When a guy wants you, in those battles, 9 times out of 10, he's going to win that battle. Maybe that's why these guys aren't taking him. But like Surf, I don't know why, but he just won't. He won't even look his way. I would like to see battles like that. I think Cortez pen is great. I love what he did in that battle on beat. You can just tell he's like he's really in tune with being an artist as well, because the way he was floating on beat in Verbal Warzone, it was really good, man. Really good, really polished. So I would like to see more battles from him. I want to see him step up a notch and get those looks against really anybody. He's one of those guys that can take a smaller name and make that a fire battle, but he can step up and rise in a big battle. I think if you look back at the battle with him and NJT, I call Twerk NJT. I just can't get with calling a nigga Twerk, man. I'm sorry. That's but you look back at that battle, I might get that to Cortez now. I want to get into that a little bit too, about watching battles after momentum is gone. I think that's I think it is a valid point to be said that once you watch a battle after the momentum of a certain battler is gone, you will come out with different outcomes. If the battle is close, I'm saying. So like, for instance, perfect example, Geechee Gotti versus JC. Geechee was on such a momentum wave that anything he said that was dope in that battle was 10 times doper to people. So, you know, and I'm not saying that it can't be possible or you're wrong if you still have him winning, but I'm just saying the momentum carries you into certain battles, because now we're anticipating you saying something fire because you said so much fire in your last battle that we're not taking it for face value and just focusing on the bars you said in that particular battle. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, I had a chance to watch that battle actually the day before yesterday, and I felt very different about that battle. Very different. I got JC winning now. Thought I didn't, you know, and does that shift how I feel about, I guess, the J Blacks and Tech's Champion of the Year process? A little bit. I've always had K-Shine Champion of the Year anyway. If I had my say and if I was lucky enough to be a part of that panel or process, that's just me. But, or Battler of the Year, you know, whatever. I think K-Shine had way too many clean performances to not get it. Obviously, the battle versus Geechee does play a part in that. But I look at body of work, you know. If one battle just means, you know, you're the man, then what's the point of taking all these other battles? So I never just focus on one battle like that. But yeah, I would love to see, like I said, Cortez, Chess, and Ilmac. Those are three guys who I want to see more of this year, because I feel like they're all dope. They all can write. They all got bars, and they've all had big names on their plate. So giving them more big names wouldn't be something that was just like out of line or out of character or undeserving. So I would like to see that. Also in 2019, what I would like to see, the resurgence of women battle rap. We need that. I don't like how people like dismiss it, and there's like a running joke about it. Like, I feel like that's like these women put, you know, well, some women put a lot of time in writing their own shit and crafting their shit. So, you know what I'm saying, it can be well received. So I feel like we need to respect their grind just as much as we respect the men's grind. Obviously, the situation with Queen of the Ring is a tricky one. Nobody really knows the ins and outs or particulars of that. So I think it's upon somebody to just come out and just form their own league and just really take women's battle rap to the next level. But I think what's stopping women's battle rap really is they don't have that constant conveyor belt of new talent coming around every year to keep women's battle rap fresh. Like, if you look now, you still are talking about the same names we were talking about 4 and 5, 6 years ago. Like, whereas you look at the men's landscape of battle rap. It was like, I would say, except for maybe the last 2-3 years, even though Geechee is still relatively new, but like, yeah, when Hitman and Verb kind of stopped being around, when the Cows and Surf was unfortunately locked away, and a lot of, some of the mainstays were kind of just fading out a little bit. They were developing your abs, your chest. Then the next, your next year, you got your NJTs, and now you got your Geechees. Like every year, there's a new face, it seems like. But with the women's battle rap, for whatever reason, I think that's just a lack of scouting. Like I think it's unfair. Like I think leagues should put just as much work into discovering women talent like they do the men's. Like I don't see, I wouldn't just say Norbs, because I don't want to make it, because everybody kind of makes it seem like he's the only one that should be out here scouting everybody. I just think every league should have a department of like guys or women just going out to different areas looking at talent. But I don't see that. Like I don't see your favorite league owners and their affiliates and comrades at these local battles watching women get busy. You know what I'm saying? So we're never going to see the fruits of the labor when it comes to women's battle rap. Excuse me, unless you put forth the effort like you do with the men. And I think, having fresh faces that got bars, that can write, that can rap, and that can really go after it, and that's hungry, I think you need that. And if you look at it, when that happens, just like with the men, it brings back the people who were the top dogs, because now they look at it like, oh, y'all the new faces? Nah, we still here. And it makes them want to get even more busy. Like you need some new faces that are the talk of the town. So somebody like Jazz or Official or 40 Bars can be like, hold up, I'm still here. But when you just rotating the same like 7 to 8 women, it's going to get repetitive. They're not amped to write for them. And it's just a bad look. So I'm looking for a resurgence this year in 2019. I really want that to be something that we can look forward to and look at like, wow, that really made a big step forward. So maybe it's wishful thinking, and like maybe it's not. Look, I'm not looking at Debo as the only source for this. I think everybody can play a part in this. So this has nothing to do with him per se, just in general. Like it's a dying entity that was really heavy in the culture, that's really entertaining, man. Some of my favorite battles over the years were involved with women going at it, man. They're dope. And yeah, like I ain't want to spend too much time, but I have been talking for a minute. Just want to get out of here real quick by saying Happy New Year's to everybody once again. Strong and positive minds, please. Physically and mental health is important going forward. I wish everybody great wealth as well. I'll be trying to do this consistently, as consistent as possible. Niggas do got a life. We are out here busy, but I want to shout out a few people. I want to shout out DME Detroit. He's a good guy. Really good with the podcast and his business. He's from the city, from Detroit, so I gotta shout him out. Want to shout out my man's Drew, who holds it down. Really an avid battle rap listener. Really good guy. Shout out to AG Biggie. Happy New Year's, my brother. So yeah, and that's about it, man. And like I said, we need new blood in the women's game. Hopefully that comes to fruition. We also need more bloggers to talk about the ins and outs of battle rap, and stop beefing, man. Stop beefing. That'll be my next topic of choice, about bloggers and how no one should be beefing because none of them do the same shit. Like, I don't know if you noticed that, but like all of them have their own niche in the game, and we all go to them for totally different reasons. I feel I'm gonna break that down, and next podcast I'm gonna also break down the comparisons to battle rap, and what battle rap should really be compared to, and why it's really unique. It's a unique sport, combat sport you can call it, but it's really unique in its way because you can't compare it to one thing. So yeah, we're gonna get into that. We're gonna really get into that, and we also going to get into more about these upcoming battles. We got Math versus Hollow, maybe still Young Ill versus Ill Will. We'll see. And yeah, man. Also going to talk about that 2-on-2 between with Marvin Quest versus Geechee and B Dot. That was slept on. Need to talk about that. Need to discuss that. And also, probably the last thing we'll talk about, Verbal Warzone, man. That shit is a good look. I think that'll separate the rappers from the battle rappers. You get what I'm saying? Like, you see the rappers who got that cadence, who can really, who really rely on delivery and pace. And it's less about being entertaining. It's more about being direct and heavy with the blows, heavy with the punches and shit. So I want to talk about Verbal Warzone and its importance to the culture now. Things like that. Cause it's been a new for the past 5 years, it's been a couple of new things that has impacted the game in a positive way. I would say 3 to 4 things have impacted battle rap in a positive way. We'll touch on all that and more. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna get back to work. Want to say thank you to everybody for tuning in and listening. As always, keep it battle rap. Love.